Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the previous episode, we completed the River Flows Part 1. Today's episode right now, we're going to go into Part 2. I made two different time slots, save slots for the routes that we're supposed to take. One to some ice area, the other one's a desert. If you have today's episode, make sure that like button supports the channel as we're going to continue with the story and see where this goes.
By order of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast sand-swept land. Before long, a grand wall of stone rises before them. Known as the Goddess's Shield, behind it lies the source, Norzelia's only supply of salt. Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state of Hyzant.
A land of sand and sun. Alrighty then.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
It protected the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war. None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
I think penetrating these walls would be nigh impossible.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
What's that sound?
Could this be?
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzelia's salt is harvested.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing.
The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzant, just as the stories say.
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter. The Holy State has done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality. As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
Certainly if everyone were equal, there would be naught to fight about.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
The words of an unbeliever. The goddess showers her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about Lady Frederica.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract. We have explained the circumstances, however, and she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Silent? Why?
I reiterate that typically, she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your understanding of our creed.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay another nation's religious creed. I have no objections.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
We appreciate your understanding. Now then, let us show you to the palace.
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages. None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
The Hierophant speaks to you. Serenoa Wolfort, we thank you for your gracious gesture. We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
House Wolfort and Hyzant have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War. On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
But of course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear. The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
I think it's significant stepping stone toward peace between the three nations. I think it's a value endeavor that will fairly profit everyone. I fear intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm brewing on the horizon.
I think it a significant stepping stone toward peace between the three nations.
A safe reply, to say the least, Lord Serenoa.
It is an ideal that I can only hope is shared by all those involved.
If I might ask, what is the ideal to which the Holy One aspires?
I would share the goddess's blessing with all of Norzelia. The Holy One wishes for a world where people are equal. The goddess always watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there is something I must ask you. I have heard that the people of Hyzant live in equality. They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that the only reason?
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well. Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy. But there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this. The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzant's medical discoveries.
I see we managed to pique your interest. Minister Lila, I leave our guests in your capable hands. Pray, show them around the ministry and let them admire Hyzant's pursuit of life and magic.
Look, a Rosellan. I heard she's an envoy from Glenbrook.
Be that as it may, is her kind even allowed to enter our halls?
I can only assume she received special permission, since Minister Lila's showing her around.
Ironic, considering the wishes of us researchers are hardly ever granted.
What a splendid facility you have here. I can see why your nation excels in the medical arts.
Normally, only ministry staff are allowed in. Having outsiders view our work is unprecedented.
We cannot thank you enough for your generosity.
If I heard correctly, it sounds like you are researching life itself.
That we are. In order to cure illnesses and injuries, we must set our sights high.
Even illnesses deemed uncurable in other nations?
There is no miracle panacea in this world, but we like to think nothing is impossible.
Wonderful. And would you be willing to share those results with others, should you achieve them?
If you believe in the goddess's teachings, yes. At least, that is what I would expect the Holy One to say.
Minister Lila, the preparations for the experiment are complete.
My apologies, but I must get back to work. You are free to take a look around. However, I ask you to not enter the restricted areas.
Of course, nothing is free in the Ministry, nor anywhere in Hyzant. And of course, when people are forced to adhere to teachings, there are some who will resist.
Who might you be?
Just a researcher, nothing more.
What was his problem?
Serenoa, I could use some fresh air, if you don't mind.
But of course, let us take a break outside.
How are you faring, Federica? Better than before, thank you, but I should like to rest in the shade for a spell. But of course, rest as long as you like. I should take a moment to get to know the city. Some merchants are open for business during the exploration phase and may be selling rare items you'll not find a provisioner in the encampment. It would be wise to speak any shopkeepers you meet. Yeah, do we have the money for that? I have no idea. Do you wish to enter the Ministry of Medicine? Not yet. It's rare for foreign dignitaries to be allowed into the ministry. Take your time looking around. Oh yeah, I can do this. I like how they just make it great into detail that we can just turn around the area instead of just keeping it in one little thing. That way we can at least look at nook and crannies for any items that we can get. I saw something. From the source of the source of the shield and the thriving city between them, I can scarcely decide what has me not most impressed. I can only imagine the people feel the same way, judging by the smiles on their faces. Have you seen the great big wall around the city? That's called the Goddess's Shield. It protects us and the assault from any who would do us harm. Yeah, I wonder, can we... Welcome, how can I be of service today? We got that on hand. We got none of that in hand. Ooh, and then there's the selectable square. Are we allowed to... Encampment? What do we get? Well, we can... Who the heck are you? Welcome to the Sundry Shop. You can exchange for kudos, blah blah. The Sundry, you can exchange kudos for items to promote your allies. We can do that! What can we do? Every unit has a class, and each class is divided into ranks: recruit, veterans, and elite. Reporting a unit will increase both their stat and maximum TP and unlock new acquired abilities. Raising a unit's class officers, blah blah. You can only promote their unit class if not, blah blah. Okay, we're getting something now. The cavalryman, strategist, firecaster, oh my, curist, the assassin, flyer, the guardian. Interesting. Trade post operates not an icon, but kudos. These kudos can be exchanged for all sorts of items, including quietus use and metals. They do not consume, but use the command executed immediately in battle and differ from abilities and 3 keys. They do not consume a turn. They consume quietus points, not TP. Each quietus may be only used once per battle. Metals are used to promote each class. They come in unlimited quantities, and new metals will be added as the story progresses. Alrighty then. Already got one stuck. Alright, interesting. I don't want to learn the story of it. What I wanted to know was this guy right here. I think it was the merchant. Interesting. But look how much money we have and we don't. Leave the area. I know that should have been done something during like off-screen time, but still. What can we get? Deals fire type magic to a single enemy and set the ground ablaze. Well, what can we make, to be honest? Oh well. Is there a way to do the thing? Oh, there it is. Just buy 2 of each. We're calling that. If only there's like a way to like grind for all these money, that'd be great. Hyzant is blessed nation, one where everyone lives in peace. But if you happen to see anyone suspicious, be sure to alert the nearest sentry. The source. Sorry, can't say I know much about it. It's a sacred place that a select few are allowed to enter. It must be nice having freedom to roam about another's nation. Yeah. Yo, move. The goddess teachings condemn Roselle to backbreaking labor to source to atone for the crimes of their forebears. I know it is the way of their nation, and yet it doesn't sit well with me. Pray take care of Lady Frederica, and I have no doubt to waste Hibis upon her. What's that shiny thing? The goddess is on her side. Should another war arise, I know she would ensure the Holy State's victory. Timber! If in Hyzan, the goddess teachings determine where you work. Even at the Ministry Medicine, you are only allowed to research subjects decided by the goddess. Though I cannot deny blah blah. Oh, straight up, there was something that was shining, but I just couldn't confirm it until now. Can I please get up there? Thank you. HP recovery pellet, thank you. Hyzan is a wonderful city. Please enjoy your time here. To your heart's content, I ask you that you not disturb the source work, and please stay away from the source. Whatever the source is, I have no idea where it's at. As one of the saintly seven, I managed the production of the shipment of salt. That is to say, I single-handedly bear the burden of Hyzan's finances. I can only imagine I was bestowed with such a venerable position in recognition of my unwavering faith to the goddess. The ministry oversees all Hyzan's dealing in salt, the foundation of the nation's wealth. It is a crucial job, even among saintly seven. If I remember that. The source is just ahead, but you'll have to turn back. Only those with proper permission can enter. Patrol around the source is always tight. You cannot pass through here. The source is through there? Alrighty then. Everyone in Hyzan knows the goddess's teachings. Obey the teachings and serve your nation, and you shall receive the goddess's blessings. It is not wealth that drives Hyzan, but the faith and the happiness of her people. But we cannot ignore wealth's importance in the equation. How has the holy state achieved such balance? It seems idealistic to think a nation could be built on faith alone. If the people are left dissatisfied, will their faith not waver? Well, what is it that brings the people such happiness? I thought the answer different for everyone. Needless to say, our wealth springs from the source. The Roselle work there tirelessly day after day, harvesting salt to atone for their past sins. We believers offer our prayers up to the goddess who bestows her blessings upon us. Those blessings in turn bring us happiness. As long as one believes in the goddess here, wealth and happiness will naturally follow. I see. Thank you, Minister. Do the Saintly Seven have the people completely under the thumb? I thought I saw something shining. There it is. We'll take those. I always knew that the goddess and her followers look upon the Roselle with disdain, yet I cannot help but worry for my people. The sins they atone are not their own, and one cannot help but wonder why they must continue to pay for them. This has less to do with the goddess's teachings than it does producing salt. It makes me wonder why other sins do not labor at the source. I find it difficult to understand why, in this nation that touts equality, the Roselle must suffer such discrimination. I suppose my ancestors did something so unforgivable that we have yet to earn the goddess' forgiveness. But the Roselle who committed those crimes have long since passed. In House Wolfur, people are judged by their deeds and not the circumstance of their birth. Alright, is there anything else I should explore? If we're done, we could just head back. No? Then again, there's that one area. What up? Let's go enter. Alright, let's see what we can learn. They claim their city is peaceful, but there are soldiers apparently of the streets and ministry. It really makes me wonder. The goddess saves all who believes in her. We research so that we may aid her to the end. The ministry's research helps save lives, and I'm proud to be part of that. It's our honor to help the sick and injured. The study of life fascinates me so. We may even unlock the secret to immortality someday. Ha ha. This is a fight, blah blah. Researchers immerse themselves in whatever the goddess bids them to study. Devoting our time to studies is what brings us greatest joy. Give me that. Money! Got my refund. The goddess' teachings unites the people. They are what govern the nation. Perhaps there is something to be learned in all this. This is areas off limits. Alrighty then. Anything else that I should look? Look every corner and cranny. Alright, let us begin.
We got our hands on a fine souvenir thanks to Lady Frederica.
It is quite the feat indeed. Serenoa has terrible taste when it comes to gifts.
Thank you indeed, Frederica.
It was my pleasure.
Should we ask Minister Lila about what ails Lord Simon?
No. Even now, Lord Simon commands great influence. We cannot let others know about his condition.
I understand. Not even our allies can know of our weaknesses, lest they use them against us.
Indeed. We cannot risk exposing ourselves to such danger, for the young lord's sake as well.
What was that?
It appears there is a stir around the ministry.
I shall investigate.
Recommend level 4. Alright, we'll end the episode right here. Like, comment, subscribe. Shark is Exhibit. I'm signing out.